Hello YouTube, Robin Hood Bricks here, and after a bit of a wait getting all of the parts, I can finally finish my express passenger train, including doing my final version of my cab car. Good. Well, there's a lot to get on with today if I'm going to have a fully finished train, at least on the outside, maybe not the inside scenes today. First of all is to do the cab car. I already converted it so the back half was passenger accommodation, but I'm going to take it a bit further so it matches my locomotive in having a driver door at the front, having this much sleeker sort of nose than this exposed openable cockpit. I'm also going to add in a passenger door on the back, much like I have on my double deckers, and a few other changes to make it look as good as possible. So that is the first one. Second of all, I'm going to convert the two remaining single-decker carriages to double-decker, so we don't need a video with details for that one, just because, well, I've done it already. It just needs more of the same. So that's number two. Number three is even more simple, and I'm going to make a third Jacob's bogie, and we've already got a video on that if you're interested, just to join these two carriages to these two carriages, so we've got kind of an unbroken main body of the train. And then fourth of all, I may try to convert my locomotive from powered up, that came with the set, into power functions. And I do that for a number of reasons, really. One, because I like to have my lights hardwired on. So as soon as you press the battery button, the headlights come on, and you can't do that with powered up. The second thing is I can use my rechargeable power functions batteries if I do that, and use the same remotes as I use for all my other trains. So it makes sense for me. So I'm going to probably do that at the very end as well. And then we'll have a fully functioning train. So yeah, the first thing to do is get on with the cab car. But before I do that, I just wanted to say one change that I did from last time, which was just changing these two wedge plates on the front from black, which I had them as, to lime, which was a suggestion from one of you, and I think it does look rather pointy and fantastic actually. So here is your bedoing. Onto the cab car. Well, the first part of this is really simple in that we're just recreating what we did on the locomotive, of course, replacing these 6 long curved slopes with 3 long ones, both in the lime and the white. So that is easy. But one thing I am going to do is replace the lovely trans light blue lights, because this will be the rear of the train as it's in my city, and I can replace those with red ones, because they would have different coloured lights to stop other trains ramming into the back of them and so on. And that was a suggestion sent in by a couple of people on the channel. So that's well worth a bedoing. And another one while we're doing the bedoings is to give the guard who's just enjoying a bit of a break in the rear car a mug so she can have a nice cup of tea, which is a very good idea indeed. So for both of those ideas, thanks very much. Here's your bedoing. Alright, so there's the front finished with its red lights and the bigger bogie and all of the new slopes and streamlined bits, including that nice new lime wedge plate area. I really like that. Driver door, of course. Then we've got the smaller side panels, and I've pushed this back in as far as possible to maximize the space on the inside. And then I've got the passenger doors on the back to match all of the double-decker carriages. So I think that's going to look really good. So now we've got the main window section in between the two. And before I had a removable roof section on that was kind of these two back sections of roof, but I figure now I'm going to have one that's hard placed and then have two more here that are the removable section. So I think that will still work well. And then I was thinking about how to use this space optimally, and it seems to me that maybe this is the best place for the buffet car, and we've got all of the buffet equipment that we removed from the other sections, and I could make really good use of this space by pushing that right into there and having this about here or something like that with an employee in between the two. It does, of course, block the transit of the second driver to the rest of the train. Maybe they're locked in their cabin, or maybe we can just imagine that there is some way past that isn't there. In other trains, I've put the buffet car on the side to get rid of that problem, but it's definitely better here at the end of the train rather than blocking transit halfway along it, I think. So yeah, I'll probably do that. So next is to add the window section in the middle, and then we should be pretty much there. Ho ho ho! Here is our completed cab car, and I think that's looking rather fantastic. With these dark windows, it's looking almost identical to the locomotive, but then that is kind of the point. We've got the arrow in exactly the same place, black back from there, with the driver door, the detail on the front, a new sort of streamlined nose, and all the rest of it. Looking rather fantastic. I have added the stickers for the buffet car here, and some passenger doors as for the rest of the train, and here is our removable roof section. Very easy indeed. And I didn't use all of that recess space in the end. I did actually push it forward a little bit because I realised that when you took the roof off you really couldn't see any of that kitchen detail, which is so good. And it's not like we've got loads and loads of space for loads of seating anyway, so I figure that's quite good, and we can see it through the window of course. So yeah, really liking that. Decided against pantographs for possibly obvious reasons. Just going to be far too busy on this end. So yeah, I really like that. Fantastic. Do tell me what you think. I will be putting a parts list for this, an upgrade from the base carriage, from the base set, in the description. But now I think I need to move on to the carriages and get the last ones of the single decker variety to be double decker like all the others. So let's get on with that next. Well, first there were 2 double-decker cars, and then, dun dun dun, there were 4 double-decker cars. Oh yes, this is going to look absolutely great when it's all added together, going around my city, with all that wonderful side detail, and the glass domes and so on. Fantastic. Now, I did get a suggestion from a subscriber last time to amend this stripe along the top, just below the lime, and to add a white section in the middle, just to give it a bit of variety. And I quite like it, and I really liked it in LDD, Lego Digital Designer, but on reflection, doing it side by side in real life, I think I kind of prefer the continuity of this grey stripe. So I think I will reverse that back actually, but here is a Bedoying for a very good idea that was well worth trying. So yeah, I kind of like it, but not enough, I don't think. So that is those 4 done. I've also done the 3rd Jacob's bogie, so I can take off one of the end ones off each of these pairs to make 4 carriages all sort of joined together semi-permanently. And I've got the setups that I have to fill the little gaps under there, which I think are probably the best part of the whole design if you ask me. So that's really good as well. Then I did say I was going to try and add power functions to the locomotive. So I think I'll be doing that next. I have got a set of lights, a IR receiver, a cable, which I need just to make sure the lights are hardwired, and another train motor. So I can add all of those in there, plus of course the rechargeable battery box, and we'll be cooking on gas. Sorted! Alright, so pretty easy actually, no real extra bricks required. Well, 2 1x1 black bricks for a 1x6, but essentially the 4x2 hole that did exist already, I'm now using the back 2 studs for the receiver itself, and then the next 2 studs for a concealed button. And basically that will be in a little setup like that should be able to recess into the roof. So all you'll see is black and black, which should be really nice, plus the little green on-off switch sort of indicator there. So now with it being hardwired, just when I turn on the locomotive, we'll have the lighting fully lit at full power, and we won't have to do any controls. And then I can take my remote control and whoo, get this thing going. Whee! Stop! So yeah, pretty good actually. Like that a lot. Right, I'll just finish the sides up and it will be complete. Well, you won't get much neater than that, I must say. I mean, it's black and black from above. I could even remove the 1x1 tile if I wanted to make it even less obvious. But I kind of like that. Don't mind having visible play features. And it works very easily. On, off, on, off. So that's fantastic. I also like the fact that I can never leave the train on accidentally without it being too obvious, because the headlights are left on when it's on. So that is very concealed. These can come back down to sort of conceal it yet more. And I think that looks really good as a locomotive with power functions now. Fantastic. So the only thing really left is to get this into the city. I'm absolutely dying to do it because we've finished that. We've finished our new cab car that's looking rather fantastic and a nice match with these 2 doors. And we've got now 4 double-decker carriages. Wow! All with Jacob's bogies. So much done on this train. So here we are in Brick Nottingham, starting at the back with the cab car. 1, 2, 3, 4 double-deckers, all with Jacob's bogies in between them. One between number 1 and number 2, between 2 and 3, and between 3 and 4. So the cab car and the locomotive are actually attached using the normal ones. And there is our locomotive, looking very good with its recessed doors. And I do think that looks a lot better up there, a lot tidier, without all of the sort of guts of the power functions, or rather the powered up, showing. And very discreet buttons are always good. And the lights powered on, fantastic. Right, so let's get this thing going with my usual remote control. And, ooh, yeah, pulling away well. It's a bit sluggish because there's a lot of weight there actually. Let's get it up to full speed. Oh, still speeding up. I think that might be it. Yeah. But it's looking good. Oh yes. All of those double-decker carriages, one after the other, looking very fine. Oh yes. I really like that. Where should we look at it next? Very good. So it's been quite a while coming, this actually, hasn't it? Getting all of the different elements of the train redone. And I didn't like this set right at the beginning, I must say. It wasn't just a lime colour, though that was probably the first thing that I didn't like. I didn't really like the shape of it too much, and I didn't like the carriages with those big doors on the sides. But now I've changed absolutely every element, the locomotive, the cab car, and each of the carriages. Basically, it looks fantastic from nose to tail, and the name, the Python, that somebody gave it earlier in this development, is very appropriate as a very long green thing with kind of 2 eyes at the front and a bit of a nose. But yeah, it's looking rather fantastic. And I think with all these recessed doors, it is arguably my most detailed passenger train, maybe with the exception of the Zeppelin or the Flying Knotsman, of course, my other mock trains. But yeah, looking really good. I just love the front with those lights on and that number and the recessed doors. It looks absolutely great. And that little bit of new lime trim on the roof. Absolutely fantastic. But as always, do tell me what you think of all of this. But I am going to take it for another spin. So as always, thank you very much for watching. It is appreciated. Do remember to like, comment and subscribe for more awesome LEGO videos. And if you value this channel, there are many ways in which you can support it. Do check out the links in the description below. And next time on Robin Hood Bricks, we'll be doing our double modular mall, which will be going in this heap of a space much later on when it's finished. And then on Wednesday, we'll be doing a brick haul, as per usual. And then Friday, we'll be doing another mock build, where maybe we'll finish another long held project that needs finishing, who knows. But until all of that, see you! Oh yeah.